An arrest warrant has been issued for South Florida rapper Bill Capri, widely known by his stage name KODAK Black. Authorities claim that Capri violated the terms of his pre-trial release, stemming from an earlier incident that led to his arrest. The initial arrest occurred last year when law enforcement pulled him over for driving with an expired license and vehicle tags. During that traffic stop, officers reportedly discovered additional issues, though specific details from the encounter remain limited. A conversation during the stop was noted, where an officer appeared to take a lenient approach, stating they were not intent on arresting Capri for minor infractions like being present at the scene or having an invalid license, suggesting instead that such violations would result in a citation. This exchange reflected a moment of de-escalation, with the officer emphasizing that the situation was not severe enough to warrant immediate arrest. The legal troubles for Capri have since escalated, and officials in Broward County have scheduled a felony trial for late 2025, focusing on charges of trafficking and possession. These charges are serious, and rather than being offered another opportunity for rehabilitation, Capri now faces the prospect of a prison sentence. Reports indicate that prosecutors and law enforcement officials are unlikely to grant further leniency, citing Capri's repeated violations and behavior as evidence that he may not be suited for lighter penalties. Discussions within the courtroom suggest a shift in tone, with authorities viewing Capri's actions as warranting significant consequences. The question of how long a potential sentence might be remains unanswered, but the sentiment among officials appears to lean toward a stricter approach. Capri's recent behavior has drawn significant attention, particularly through his public appearances and social media activity. Over the past few months, while out on bail for the aforementioned charges, Capri has been involved in incidents that have raised concerns about his well-being. One notable example occurred during a live stream on a social media platform 2 weeks prior to the latest developments, where Capri appeared visibly impaired, engaging in erratic behavior such as jumping on counters and speaking incoherently. This display alarmed viewers and fueled discussions about his mental and physical state. The rapper's actions during these streams have been described as troubling, with some clips showing him struggling to articulate thoughts or engaging in bizarre activities, such as eating chicken in the middle of a road while appearing disoriented. This is not the first time Capri has faced legal consequences for similar charges. 2 years ago, on February 28, 2023, he was arrested for related offenses, including possession and firearm charges. At the time, Capri admitted to using a substance referred to as drink, but denied involvement with other illegal substances. Despite pleading not guilty, his history of arrests marks him as a repeat offender, a factor that prosecutors are likely to emphasize in the upcoming trial. Following the 2023 arrest, federal authorities raided Capri's Florida residence, leading to his detention. However, his attorney, Brian Cohen, successfully negotiated a deal that allowed Capri to enter a rehabilitation program instead of serving a 2-year jail sentence. This arrangement was intended to help Capri address underlying issues and avoid incarceration, but recent events suggest that the rapper has struggled to maintain the progress made during that period. The latest violation of Capri's pre-trial release conditions stems from a random drug test conducted earlier this month, which reportedly returned positive results. During a court appearance, Capri addressed the judge, and a technician testified that there may have been a mix-up with the test samples, potentially confusing Capri's results with those of another individual. To resolve the issue, Judge Barbara Duffy requested a hair sample to confirm the test results, a step that could have cleared Capri of the violation. However, Capri declined to provide the sample and instead opted to enter the Legacy Rehabilitation Facility for a 30-day program as part of his pre-trial release agreement. This decision was meant to demonstrate his commitment to addressing his issues, but his subsequent actions have cast doubt on the effectiveness of this approach. Prosecutors are now preparing to argue that Capri's repeated violations and public behavior justify a harsher penalty. They are likely to present evidence from his social media activity, including live streams where he appeared under the influence and engaged in erratic behavior. One widely circulated video showed Capri in a disheveled state, seemingly unaware of his surroundings, which has been described as him looking like a zombie. These clips, which Capri himself has shared publicly, provide prosecutors with ample material to argue that he poses a risk to himself and others if allowed to remain free without stricter oversight. The prosecution's goal appears to be securing the maximum possible sentence, painting a picture of Capri as someone who has failed to take advantage of previous opportunities for rehabilitation. Beyond the legal ramifications, Capri's personal struggles have become a topic of public concern. In one emotional live stream, he referenced a viral social media post that expressed sadness over his condition, noting that he has multiple children and questioning why those close to him, including the mothers of his children, have not intervened to help him. Capri echoed the sentiment of the post, stating that he feels unsupported and is waiting to pass away, a statement that alarmed fans and highlighted his fragile mental state. In another stream, he spoke candidly about never having experienced true love, calling out the mothers of his children and expressing feelings of isolation and abandonment. These moments have sparked widespread discussion about the rapper's mental health and the need for meaningful support from those around him. The rap community and other public figures have also weighed in on Capri's situation. Kanye West, for instance, publicly expressed concern and announced plans to travel to Atlanta, where Capri was located at the time, to offer support. West called on other artists in the area to join him in helping Capri, emphasizing the urgency of the situation and the need to intervene before it worsens. Other rappers, including Bunk, have reached out, sharing their own experiences with addiction and recovery to encourage Capri to seek help. Bunk, in particular, spoke from a place of empathy, noting that he had faced similar struggles but had managed to overcome them, urging Capri to make a conscious decision to change for the sake of his children and those who look up to him. Similarly, rappers Wallow and Gilly offered life advice, reminding Capri of his responsibilities as a father and the importance of setting a positive example for his children. They emphasized that many people depend on him, including his 5 children and extended family, and urged him to stay focused despite the challenges he faces. Their message was one of tough love, acknowledging Capri's talent and influence while stressing that his actions have far-reaching consequences for those who rely on him. Capri's struggles have been compounded by the pressures of fame and the expectations placed on him as a public figure. After completing a rehabilitation program in 2023, he experienced a brief period of success, releasing a hit song titled Walk that garnered 33 million views and revitalized his career. However, the rapid return to the spotlight may have contributed to his relapse, as he sought to recapture his audience through high-profile appearances and live streams. During one such stream, hosted by another influencer, Capri exhibited concerning behavior, including excessive sweating and erratic speech, which suggested he was under the influence. This incident, coupled with the public backlash that followed, appears to have intensified his struggles, as he faced criticism from fans and detractors alike. The negative feedback reached a peak when a fan at a local football game approached Capri, expressing admiration for his sobriety, but inadvertently triggering a defensive response. Capri, visibly upset, dismissed the comment and flaunted his wealth, indicating that the pressure to maintain a certain image was weighing heavily on him. A similar incident occurred at a Baltimore Ravens game, where Capri appeared disoriented while interacting with fans and discussing the team's quarterback, Lamar Jackson. These public appearances, combined with his social media activity, have fueled concerns about his health and prompted calls for intervention from both fans and industry peers. In a surprising turn of events, Capri was invited to the White House, an opportunity that could have been a defining moment in his career. However, his behavior during the visit, which was described as erratic and incoherent, drew further scrutiny. In one clip, he mused about a hypothetical world where everyone was the same, making disjointed comments about societal roles and responsibilities. The viral nature of this moment underscored the challenges Capri faces in managing his public persona while grappling with personal issues. In response to the growing criticism, Capri issued a public apology, expressing regret for his actions and the pain he had caused to his fans, family, and those close to him. He specifically apologized to his mother, his children's mothers, and others he felt he had wronged, acknowledging the impact of his behavior. He also responded to Kanye West's outreach, describing him as a genuine supporter and expressing appreciation for his efforts. Despite these gestures, the upcoming trial looms large, and the evidence of Capri's struggles, much of it self-documented, will likely play a significant role in the court's decision.